Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 14th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So it was a holiday, with this being Easter Monday. It was a holiday in a lot of different places, so the liquidity was quite low today. Coming up here in the Asian session, we do have business confidence numbers from Australia here, and Australian dollar has done well recently. So if these numbers come in higher than what the previous number was here, then we could see Australian dollar move up further. So keep that in mind if you're trading the Australian dollar. And then we have trade balance numbers from China. These numbers will have an impact on Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So if the numbers are in line with expectations, then that would be good for both Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. However, if they come in below expectations, that could have a negative impact on both of those currencies. But if they miss this number by a substantial amount, then that will be negative. So that's something to keep in mind. And coming up here on Tuesday, there are G7 meetings all day. So with this one here, when we have the leaders from different countries gather, now there can be comments that come out, and these comments of course can move the market. So keep an eye out for any comments from any of the countries here. And in terms of coronavirus here, we are seeing a lot of kind of mixed sentiment in the US. So US currently has the most cases. And they've been trying to figure out when to open the economy and all of that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Nothing that really will have a big impact on the market currently, because a lot of that is already factored in. But if there is something that is sort of outside the norm, that will definitely have an impact. So we do need to keep an eye out for that. And in UK, we see that the lockdown has been extended to May the 7th, and the US also extended it earlier up until, I believe, April 30th for now. And they've been talking about either extending it or figuring out a way to open up the economy. So we'll see how that plays out. So let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off with euro dollar here. So with euro dollar, we talked about this on the weekend. Price was right into resistance here. It did try to go through, but has failed to hold above this 1.0950 level. And today we have a nice bearish candle close. So bias here is bearish. And in terms of a target, I would look for a bit of a pullback and then looking for a move to the downside. Target here is 1.0850. So bias is bearish here for euro dollar. And second target is 1.0830. In terms of our pullback, we could look at 1.0925 level and then a potential drop from there. So bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one has actually, pound has been doing well recently, and today we have a bullish candle close. It has broken through the resistance level now. So with this one, this is looking bullish right now. And in terms of where this is headed, we are looking at 1.2620 as the first target, and then the second target, should it continue through, it could go into 1.2720. So for now, for pound here, bias is bullish, so we could see something like this. All right, so Aussie dollar here. This one, Australian dollar has done well as well. As we can see, price has gone through the resistance from the Friday's move here. So this one's looking bullish as well. And in terms of the target here, we're looking at 0.6450 and then 0.6520 here. So bullish bias for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is neutral. This one still hasn't broken the resistance, but it is pushing higher. So we could see a further move to the upside. And here, actually, this one is holding above this previous support resistance level. So if it continues to do that, we're likely to see a further move to the upside. And in terms of our targets here, a first target is 0.6160, and then above that 0.6200 approximately. So bullish bias, neutral bias here for New Zealand dollar. Today's candle closes neutral. Basically what I'm looking for is to see whether it will hold above 0.6050, and if it does, I will look for a further move to the upside. Dollar CAD here, dollar CAD has done well as well. Just the commodity currencies overall have done well. Actually, I forgot to mention one thing that did happen was OPEC. There were meetings between OPEC and other oil producing countries, and they have all finally come to an agreement, and they are going to cut oil production, which is good news. And this is why we are seeing commodity currencies doing well, especially Canadian dollar here, because Canada is a big exporter of oil. So with that, now oil itself hasn't done well. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But because of the agreement there, the commodity currencies are doing well. So just something to keep in mind there. Dollar CAD here, we do see that price finally broke through the support level here. So this is looking bearish now. Next target here is 1.3800. So bias is bearish for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our silver here. Well, we'll take a look at commodities. Silver here is looking neutral. For 3 days here, price has not been able to break the resistance level, so I would be careful with this one because we could see a drop back down. So neutral bias here. What I'm looking for is a potential retest of 15.50, and if it holds below, I will look for a drop. Now, on the flip side, because gold has done well, this one could break to the upside here. In that case, the target would be 15.85. So should it go through 1550, we're looking at 1585, and then potentially even higher. It could go all the way into 1640. So for now, though, bias is neutral. If it holds below 1550, first target is 1515, and then second will be 1480. So neutral bias there. Gold has done incredibly well. We see that price not only went through this resistance level here, it's just right into the next level. So 1720 or 1720, sorry. So that's where we are headed, but that is an important support resistance level here. Let's go into the weekly. So as we can see, this is where it's coming from. So should it go through, we could see a further move to the upside. But this one here as well, this is a major resistance. So if it doesn't break that, we could see a drop. So we'll have to watch this 1720-ish, 1722 level. Because if it holds below, then we could see a drop. But the next target here is 1750. So bullish bias for now for gold, and keep an eye on the high. Oil here, oil hasn't really done much in the last several days here. This one is still trading in the range at the moment. So right now, this is neutral. Basically, what I'm looking for is which direction this wants to break into. If it breaks through this resistance level at 3050, I would look for 3220. But otherwise, we're looking at 27.20 as the target. So right now, I'm just looking for a sideways move here for oil. Copper here, this one's looking bullish. Now, it has been going up here, but the candles aren't the best. So we have to be careful with this one as well. But for now, bias is bullish, and a first target would be the high of today, which is 2.31. And then a second target here, we're looking at 2.35. So bias is bullish, but we have to be cautious with this one here as well, because if price holds below 2.30, we could see this type of move to the downside. So watch out for that. So bias is bullish, but with caution here. Bitcoin here, this one, we saw a drop. So bias is bearish. As we looked at this a few days ago, price is basically stuck below 74.20. So now first target is 65.20. And then below that, we're looking at 6,300. So bearish bias for Bitcoin. Moving on to equities now. Equities, we are looking at S&P 500 as we see prices into strong resistance level. And we have a bearish candle close today, so looking for a drop. First target is 27.20. And then below that, we're looking at 26.40. So bearish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one actually did relatively well today. We did see a drop, but it managed to close higher. So this one's looking bullish, but keep in mind it is right into this resistance level right now. So if price holds below 83.65, then we could still get a move back down towards 80.80. So watch out for that, but otherwise it is looking bullish. It's pushing into the resistance. So next target is 8,500 and then 8,600. So this is bullish again with caution because we could see price turn around here. This is an important level to keep an eye on. Now Dow Jones is looking bearish. We do have a bearish candle close, so looking for a further drop here. And first target is 23,000, then 22,620. DAX here, this one, the market was closed today, so no new candle here. But because the other equity markets are dropping, I would expect this one to drop as well. First target here would be 10,000, let's say 500, and then we're looking at 10,300. So bearish bias for DAX. Same with FTSE here as well, even though we don't have a new candle here because the market was closed, but I will look for the same thing. If it holds below 58.70, we're basically, or 58.75, we're basically looking for price to turn around. So this one I would say neutral for this one. We'll just have to see what happens at the resistance level. I am expecting it to drop, but we'll have to see. Nikkei here, this one is bearish. We have a nice bearish candle close, looking for a further drop here. Price is into a resistance here, and we see that it held below that resistance. So I'm looking for a follow through essentially to the downside here. And in terms of our targets here, first target is 18,800, then 18,500. So bias is bearish for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. Just keep in mind, we are into low liquidity period, and more liquidity would be coming into the market tomorrow, which can cause basically the market to behave in an erratic way. So just keep an eye on things. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.